Today we are bringing you a video from an FC24 coaching session from a player that gets 16 wins in FUT Champions. This is a session that is one-to-one with the student. The student's responses have been taken out of the session, so it will just be me talking and going through exactly everything that we spoke about. If you do enjoy the video, leave a like and subscribe, but let's jump into it. Second one press, obviously, where you hold... Oh, that one's a bit thick. That size will do. There you are. Where you hold R1, which you started to implement after I spoke about it. It's super good in these sort of areas now, because what you're doing is you're getting into the areas where you can have you manually pressing the ball holder or covering the lane, and also having the AI pressure the ball holder for you. So that's where, in this sort of area, you switch into that, right? Second man press will grab the player that is closest to the ball and goal side of the ball. So basically, if the ball is there, anyone that is this side of the ball would be goal side, and it'll grab the player that is closest to that. So if you switch here into Modric, you're now protecting this. You're also putting a little bit of pressure on Griezmann. What you're also doing, if you hold second man press here, is Declan Rice would now be pressing the ball holder, or it would grab whoever that is. I can't work out who that is from there. They would also then pressure the ball holder. And what you're doing is you're actually funneling the opponent. Like, let's say if it is Declan Rice that comes from there and you're covering here, his only way then is to go into this sort of area. And this sort of area is absolutely fine, because that's not a threat. What you've done is you've then forced him to go back out wide, and then you can come back out here, and then you can press with it. But you can just see how you get the ball from that tackle with Modric. You can make the thing so much easier for you by using second man press in so many different scenarios. Like here, when you're chilling, if you hold second man press now, Modric presses the ball holder. Declan Rice presses the ball holder. Modric, you're back on him. Declan Rice then presses it. It just gives you those ways to funnel the opponent out into more areas where you want them to go. When this ball gets into Griezmann here, is there anything else you think you could do with Griezmann? Let's just say Mbappe isn't here. Mbappe's not there. What can you do with Griezmann here? Exactly. That's all I wanted to be able to hear from you, to know whether or not that is something that is in your gameplay. Which, if you're already going for it, on that Trailblazer card, he's got the Travella Playstyle Plus, which makes him so much better. So definitely, you know, an option for you here to just go for that Travella into that far corner. But then obviously just play for that offside, and the opponent leaves. So you do really well here. Walker driving forward, gaining territory on the pitch. You pick the ball up with Modric, use a controlled sprint, lay that off to Mbappe, and then Griezmann. So this is now where I asked, are you on precision shooting or assisted shooting? Because obviously that one just goes wide. Now, precision shooting and assisted shooting, I run precision shooting. I ran it last year as well. Basically, it's just where you aim is where the ball goes. What ends up happening is most people put it on, and it ends up going to the side. Like, literally, they end up putting it out for a throw-in most of the time. That's the only reason why I asked. Assisted shooting, obviously, is what most people run. It's absolutely fine to run as well. You work the ball really, really well here across. You keep it moving quickly. One thing that we're going to touch on as we get into this game and go further into it, do you think there is anything here you could do with Kyle Walker, specifically more so about what's happening with these players? Is there anything you think you can do? Would you agree Dembele's, in this scenario, Dembele's not actually really doing a fat lot? If you look at him, your right winger, do you think he's even doing much? He's looking, yeah. So over here in England, I always talk about it. It's like, obviously, imagine you're walking into a fast food restaurant, and you want to order a pizza or something, and you're looking up at the menu, you know, that's above the till, and you're like looking, going, oh, what do I want? What do I want? That's what they do here. That's basically them going, they're just really thinking about what they're gonna have for dinner or whatever. They're not in the game. They're not doing anything. And why this is a problem is because it's not given. So you are playing against a human. This human has two eyes and a brain. They're looking at the same scenario as you. He knows right now this Dembele is not really a threat because he's not doing anything. So what I want him to be doing is to be making a run to give you an option. Now, you don't have to use him. You don't have to pass the ball to him. But him making a run here in behind then makes the opposition that you are playing against have something to think about. So how do we make him run? How do we get him to get into this scenario? You're running with Kyle Walker. Your left stick is pointing this way. If you tap the L1 button, Dembele then runs in a straight line. Now, running in a straight line is great, but it's also very basic. It's, you know, a lot easier to defend when we know the opponent only runs in a straight line. So what could we do then? We could add in the creative runs or the play a lot feature, which are two different tools, which obviously I asked you about, and not something that we use too much. First of all, the creative runs is where you tap L1 like you do anyway to send someone on a run. But then after tapping L1, you flick the right analog stick in the direction that you want them to run. So say if you wanted Dembele to run, if you know with Kyle Walker you want to run on the inside here, the best thing you can do is send Dembele in the opposite way. Because if you run there and then his Mendy steps up that way, you would then just pass the ball to Dembele, because Dembele is going to have all the room to run and then get into the 18-yard box and pull their left centre back over. But if he tracks the run with Dembele out towards this wing, Kyle Walker then has a little bit more free time, because this player wouldn't be there. They would then be over here. So that's the creative runs. You could do the player lock, which is where you do the left analog stick and the right analog stick in, and then the icon will change above Walker's head. You would then have to right stick switch to Dembele, and then you can make that run yourself. If you want to book your own one-to-one coaching session, click the link in the description to head over to alexbeeofficial.com to find out more information there. But again, you can just see how I play a lot there. Switch over to that man that I want. Here, ball comes out wide. I press the left stick and the right stick in now. I then right stick switch really quickly over. And then I fake it, so I press the left stick and the right stick back in to change back to this player. And all that's doing, remember what I said, you're playing against an opponent. They have a brain. That's making him think I was going to go to Neymar, so he's going to move the defenders accordingly. I then play a lock again, and then I just move Neymar into that lane and go. And that's where you tap the L1 button and then flick the right stick. So I pick the ball up, I send Beto on a run, and then I flick the right stick for him to run into that direction. You see how that defender moves with it? Just pulling him a little bit further out, give me a little bit more time and a little bit more room to operate in and to get into the scenarios that I want. I press the L1, I flick the right stick, he then makes that run. It's not just a flat run, it's a diagonal run, which makes it more difficult for the opponents to defend. And then just one more on the creative runs for you. Here, right attacking mid, making a run. You see if I just have him tapped on L1, he's going to run like that. What's more dangerous, him running on a straight line or him running like that? Yeah, inside. Because if he receives the ball here and he's running on the inside, he's going to get into a better position to shoot than he is up there. So we flip that right analog stick. He then moves it into that lane there and then play that through ball. I'm now in a goal scoring position. Unfortunately, I missed a goal. So you have 250 milliseconds after tapping L1 to flick the right stick to not get a body feint or a ball roll. So you have to be quick with it. But the key to this movement here is, when this ball comes into Odegaard, if we watch, I'll try and pause it. You see how I quickly push my left stick upwards to face Diaz? I tap L1. So now I've already started the run. He's already going now. He's not standing still. He's going. So he's going. And now I want him to change the run. So I tap L1 and then just after tapping L1, flick that right stick down like that. And he goes. Bang. And then unfortunately, I miss it because I reek, but the idea was right. The principle was right. It's just unfortunate that we didn't get that. You use the width, you carry it forward. You're pointing your stick at Vinny, tap L1, then flick the right stick, get him to run into there. That right back tracks him or he comes to you, giving you two options. You could play a lock here. You could even do this, and even more of a simple one. You could tap L1, and not do a creative run, not do a play lock, and Vinny will go. You could then lay the ball into Mbappe, and then as Vinny is now here, you then look for that through ball with Mbappe, giving yourself a nice triangle pattern of play to look for an option. But can you see how, again, he's not doing anything? Like, he just doesn't move. And now you move into this area. It would take something magical. I know Mbappe's good, but like, can you see how you just triangled in here? You've got nothing you can do, really. Like, it's really difficult for you to really do anything. You managed to just ride the challenge and then go, which is crazy because it's Mbappe. But giving yourself that more of an outlet, more of an option would work wonders for you again there. You're not giving that ball away. You're tracking this runner, right? You identify that this Neymar is a problem. You identify that this player is a problem. If you hold second man press here, you're tracking that run. Your Laurent Blanc is tracking that run. Right now, what is Theo Hernandez doing? Just looking at him. He's kind of going, oh, hi, Salah. You having a nice time? You having a good day? Yeah, oh, cool. But, he's not doing anything. If you hold R1 here, Now, again, this is where second man press isn't always the greatest. Like, it might not grab Theo Hernandez. It might grab Declan Rice. It's based on the logic that I've provided of that it should always grab the player that is closest to the ball, that is goal side. And if we do a quick analysis, who is the closest to the ball? It's Theo Hernandez. It won't ever obviously second man press with the player that you're controlling because it doesn't work that way. So it will grab Theo Hernandez. So you hold R1 now, and at least Theo Hernandez is going there. So if you keep tracking that, if he then takes a touch with Salah and you have an opportunity to step in, you tap L1 to change back to the guy that's closest to the ball with that little second defender switch icon. And then you press tackle and you try and get a quick tackle in to catch him off guard. Because the opponent is always aware of who you are controlling. So when you second man press, if you move Theo here with second man press and then you quickly tap L1 and press tackle, it catches the opponent off guard and gives you a bit more of a chance to try and stop that altogether. Again, here in the middle, you're kind of chilling, you're kind of defending, you just about get it, and then small out to the wing. This is like a way, this is like a thing where it's like a cat and mouse scenario. And what I mean by that is you have an Mbappe here where looking for that extra pass at times can be really, really good. You know, going for that extra pass. But it's also quite predictable. So if you play against someone that's maybe not of a similar level, maybe they're a little bit weaker, they will just try and tackle you here. They won't even know that that player's there. They won't be aware of it. But if this is me defending this, I'm thinking, oh man, I really don't want Mbappe to get this ball here, like, because he's just gonna score. It's Mbappe. But what I'd also be equally scared about is the Griezmann. So you have kind of like two options. One, laying it off and passing it to Mbappe, and then Mbappe shoots it there. Or you fake the Mbappe, so you take the touch upwards like you do, and then, yep, you could go for a shot cancel, a fake shot, or you could actually probably, if you point up, take the fake like touch almost, and then just take a touch this way, back into there, and then just shoot near post. You could also do that. But you need to try and like force something more out of the opponent. You obviously end up just controlled sprinting. And now that, you know, if you look at that, you were in a, I'd actually rather you here with Griezmann in this scenario, take one touch and just bang it, rather than you controlled sprint all the way up to here and then look at it and go, I've got nothing to do. Like that, this is a terrible scenario now. You've gone from being in a position where you could possibly have shot or passed it, and now we're just in a position where nothing can happen. That makes sense.